For the people who showed up yesterday and for people who watched the video and gave us feedback, thank you so much. All right, thanks for your time. Thanks for your comments. It's been great. Today, we're going to dive straight into it. We're going to be talking about messaging. All right, if you're watching this live, just hit live so I can see if you're watching it. If you can hear me okay, press sound or press, let me know you can hear me okay. And if you're watching the replay later, that's sweet. Just hit replay as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to, let me see, I just want to share my screen here. All right, so you should be able to see my screen right there. If you can hear me, as I said, let me know in the comments. And I am going to go and share my screen here. We're going to get started, get into this. This is day 2 connection. All right, so day 2 is all about connection. And when we talk about connection, we're basically just talking about our message. All right, so when we talk about connection, that's just how do we connect with people? How do we get a message that's really clear to them? How do we get people who want to work with us, who value our services, and who want to seek out our advice, seek out our opinion? So just a quick recap from yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about what is the problem you are solving. So you should be crystal clear if your coaching program or your business or your service that you know what problem you are solving. That's so important, all right? And then the other thing is, what's the solution to the problem, okay? What solution are you giving people? When a person comes and asks about your service, you should be able to say, here's what I give you, okay? Not telling them about how many sessions they do with you or how often they see you, but what problem you're actually solving and what solution you're giving. Then we covered as well your simple system or your method or your framework or what you're going to call it. That's your whatever approach you use to get people a result. And we, okay, so that's that covered from yesterday. Now today, okay, I want to know who's ready to start, all right? And thank you as well. Thank you everybody for showing up. The question for today is, are you a finisher? And what I mean by that is you've started on this journey for induction week. There's 2 types of people online that we meet, all right? So we meet number 1, starters, and number 2, finishers. And let me know in the comment, hit 1 if you're a starter, hit 2 if you're a finisher. But you've come this far, okay, you may as well finish out this week, and I guarantee you, you will have a challenge laid out that's ready to do for a 4-figure launch for your online coaching service or business. So if you haven't already, ask yourself, why have you not completed the challenge, okay? Or if you have tried to launch a program or a course or something like that already, ask yourself, why have you maybe not completed it? Where are you getting stuck? Why has it failed in the past? And it's just to figure that stuff out so you don't do the same thing again, all right? The other thing, guys, for everyone who shows up today, okay, and does the work, does the comments, we're entering you back into the competition, the draw at the end of the week to win our Facebook ads course for healthcare. So we've been running ads for a long time. We've been running a lot of money with ads, and we figured a lot of stuff out. So if you want to enter that draw for the Facebook ads course, all you have to do is just comment under this video and go back and comment on the video yesterday and complete the task. So when it comes to online, guys, speed wins. And what we mean by that, it's important to just test and test quickly. And we see this in every area of people who succeed, people who do really well. What happens is they fail, they figure it out, to try again. They fail, they figure it out, to try again. Fail, figure it out, to try again. And business is the exact same. Okay, if you're starting a business, you fail, you say, all right, that didn't work, I'm going to do something different. Being a better clinician is the exact same thing. You try rehab with a person, it doesn't work. You tweak it, you learn from it, you say, okay, I'm going to do something different next time, and you continue with that approach. But when it comes to business, when it comes to working with clients online or offline, or being a physio or a coach or anything else, speed wins. And what we mean by that is you want to test and test things quickly. And if you fail, you want to fail quickly, because the more you fail, the more you learn, all right? So it's important to keep that mindset, that it's not about getting it perfect from the start. It's about getting started. That's way, way more important. So speed wins when it comes to this type of thing. That's why we're doing this layout this week, that we're going through things and giving you tasks to do day by day. If you haven't done the task from yesterday, just go and do it, guys. Okay, go back, skip to the end of the window if you want. Get that sentence figured out, figure out your problem, figure out your solution, figure out your system, and then let us know. We're happy to give feedback. Please, myself and Callum are here to help. Send us a message. We will gladly give you feedback or talk through it, or if you have any ideas. We're already helping some people out who've started to do that in the group from yesterday. And guys, challenges work, okay, because they help to keep people accountable. So when they're in a challenge, if they're working with you, they kind of get an idea what you're like as a person, but they also help to keep people accountable And that's like what we're doing here in the group. If you want a chance to get into that Facebook ads course at the end of the week and to get into that draw, we just ask for a little bit of accountability. And that's something the same that you can do. So even the clients you work with for a long time, they probably work with you because you got them a result at the start and because they like the accountability now. So that's why challenges work really, really well. Okay, so day 2, as we said, it's all about connection. We're going to break down that into a little bit more detail. So first things first is you need to know who your ideal client is. And your ideal client is basically that if you woke up tomorrow and you were just working with this one type of person, who would they be? And why would you like working with that person? So there's all these things that we can look at as well about that ideal client. Their demographics, their psychographics, their sales copies, like the language we use, it's at their level. And then we're going to talk about something a little bit later called pain versus pressure. But knowing who your ideal client is really, really important. And knowing who you want that person to be is that, and that maybe that's the person you want in your coaching program. Maybe that's the person you want in your clinic or in the gym setting, wherever you are, all day, every day. But if you don't know who it is, you have to go and figure that out and plan for that person. So let's say you like working with older active adults right now, and you're just working with sports people. Then you're not working with your ideal client, and you need to figure out how you're going to change your messaging to attract those type of people. So who is the ideal buyer? Then when it comes to online, we've seen a couple of different types of buyers, and we're going to break them down, and you're going to recognize a lot of these guys that you've worked with in the past or clients that you've had previously, okay? But basically, for us, first things first, our clients or our customers, okay, if you want to call them that, there's a couple of must-haves for us. And this is something that you should probably have in your business as well. So our clients, first of all, they must have a problem that they're trying to solve. So when we work with runners, they must be trying to solve a problem of getting faster at the 10K time, all right? So if I'm a physio and I kind of rehab with people and they don't have a goal that they're working towards in the rehab, I will choose not to work with that person. So they need to have a problem that they're looking for a solution for. The other thing, okay, clients that work with us, they must be willing to invest in themselves. If we work with a person and they say they don't want to pay for physio or they don't want to pay to grow or improve, then we don't really want to work with them. Okay. And then the third thing is they must be productive. So that might mean that if we give them action steps to take, that they do those steps, whether that's or the therapist, whether that's people with rehab, it doesn't matter, but they're our kind of non-negotiables. So I want you to think about and even let us know in the comments, when you choose your clients or your customers, what are your must-haves? What are the things that they must do, okay, for you to work with them? And if you don't have these things, you don't want to be working with every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming down the street. So you need to be thinking about that. All right, so your assignment today, okay, pretty easy. I just want you to name your challenge. So yesterday, you probably came up with what your system or your framework is going to be. You come up with your problem and your solution, okay? Today, I want you to name your challenge. What would be your 10-day challenge or your 5-day challenge to attract clients to your business or to your coaching services or to your rehab clinic or whatever it is? So just name your challenge. Let us know what you're thinking about in the comments below. So there's 3 types of buyers, guys. There's number 1, the diehards, number 2, the satisfied, and number 3, the frustrated. And we're going to go through all 3 of these, and we're going to talk about which ones we prefer to work with. And you're going to recognize all of these from your own experience. So the diehards, the first ones, all right? These people are the ones who are addicted to work. They want results quick. If you think of these, it's like Apple versus Android. These are the Steve Jobs guys. These are the guys who said, I want an Apple Mac and an Apple iPhone. I don't want anything else. And Android are crap. And these people are very much like on one side of the fence. They're black and white. And the problem with it is if you want these people to work with you, if you want them to think that you have a new solution or you have a product or a service that's going to really help them, you need them to have an identity shift. So you need them to get to change some belief or some way they have of looking at a certain thing or a certain problem. And that's really, really hard to do. So it's so hard to change a person's identity or change their framework of how they view something. So diehards are not the best people to work with, okay? And the other thing is they want results quick. So sometimes they're willing to pay for it as long as it gets some quick results, but they maybe don't want results long term. So they're the diehards. In the satisfied people. And these are the people that are casually committed. And this is people that are just looking for content where they are at, all right? And these are the people that they are happy to go to any therapist or happy to go to any coach or happy to go to the acupuncturist down the street versus the physio versus the osteopath versus the PT in the gym. And they shop on price and they're always looking for a discount. And these are the people that probably came in last week to your clinic and saw your Black Friday offer and you hadn't heard from them all year, and because you had a sale on, that's when they come in looking for your services. And the problem with these people is they're always shopping on price, all right? They live in pennies, okay, because they always want to compare your service to the price of somebody else, all right? And they're the satisfied people, and they're normally only ever content with what they get, all right? And they're casually committed, so in terms of, because they don't spend a lot to invest in themselves, they're not really committed or invested in getting really good results. And then you have the frustrated people. And these people that we've found a lot of the time, especially when we work with them online, even when we work with them from a rehab point of view, is these people are busy people, all right? They're actively looking for a solution, okay? They're frustrated, but they're looking for a solution. And when you have a message that tells them that you offer them a good solution and you explain why they're having the problem that they have, okay, you give them clarity, you give them value up front, these are the people that get results, okay? You give them tasks or action steps to do, they go and do it, okay? They see your content, you explain a problem really well, they say, I like the way this person explains this problem, I'm going to work with this person. They do everything you ask them to do and they get results. And these are what we call the frustrated people, okay? The frustrated buyers. They're busy people, so they're not really time wasters. They're just like, tell me what I need to do, I'm going to go and do it. And which one of those three do you think you would like to work with, or do you think would be the best customer for a service, all right, or a physio or a coach? So for us, it's the frustrated people all day, every day. Okay, so it's the frustrated people. They're the ones that we want to work with. So next thing we have is our client demographics. And this is really important. This is the kind of stuff like, what age is your client? Gender, the male or female? How highly educated are they? Do they have a degree or not? What profession do they work in? What income level do they have? And there's reasons that we want to know these things. So let's say, for example, 3 rules for us is a person actively seeking a solution to a problem, all right? Is there other people offering that service, and are they willing to pay for that solution? So they're the 3 things. So what I mean by that, let's say you have a student who's looking to get in really good shape, all right? Yes, they might be actively looking for a problem. Yes, they might be looking for a solution, but maybe they don't have the money to pay for your services. So they mightn't be a good fit. And then profession might be, let's say you want to work with people and your ideal day is to work with people from 9 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. in the day. But all the people you want to work with are really busy professionals. Are they going to be able to come into your clinic at that time or work with you at that time? Probably not. So this is all the stuff we need to figure out. And even when we talk about our age and gender, they're the stories we're going to tell that relate to these people. So demographics are important. Then the next thing that's way, way more important is your client's psychographics. And this is just basically the really important stuff. What are their values? What are their attitudes? What are their beliefs? What are their routines? What are their fears? What are their dreams? So these are the things that keep them awake at night and that they worry about. All right. So if they really value their health, okay, and then you're promoting healthy long-term strategies, they will connect with that. Okay. If their fear is that they have a marathon coming up in 2 months' time and they're afraid of getting injured, and then you explain why there's benefits of your service, they will connect with that. If you have a person who has a dream maybe to deadlift a certain weight, okay, with a certain technique, and they're trying to figure it out but just can't get there, and that's their dream and that's their holy grail, and you explain how they can do it, they will work with you. So knowing this stuff is really, really important, and this takes a little bit of time to actually go and figure this out. But once we know this stuff, once we start answering these why questions, like why they have those problems or why they have those fears, that's how we create connection with people. So everybody thinks funnels are these really fancy things online, and we need messengers and we need retargeting pixels on Facebook, and it just comes down to, a lot of the time, we need really, really clear messaging. We need to really explain what a person's fears and beliefs are and connect with that person, and then we just need to do that constantly over a period of time. That's what it literally, working online or offline, that's what it comes down to, and that's what makes your clinic or your business successful. So then the copy connection. We need to know our ideal customer, and the content that we write to these people is really important. So when we talk about sales copy, if you've ever wrote an email, if you've ever wrote content for your website, if you've ever wrote an Instagram post or a Facebook post or anything like that, then you are writing sales copy. All right, you're writing a message, try and get people to decide that you're a good fit to work with that person. And it's really important that, let's say, if I'm targeting people who are over 45 years of age, I'm not speaking to them in the same way that I would have to a 19-year-old. And if I'm targeting somebody who really values long-term health and fitness, and I'm not giving them like 8 steps to get shredded in 6 weeks. All right. So I need to know my target clients so I can get my messaging clear. And that's why we say this is so important to figure out. So step one, okay, for you today, for an action step to do, all right? All I want you to do is think about what's a headline or a title for your challenge. So maybe it's going to be like your Straight Line Fitness Kickstart. Maybe it's going to be your Ultimate Lean Body Challenge. Maybe it's going to be your mini course to nail your deadlift. Maybe it's going to be your eight-step framework to a pain-free squat. Okay, so whatever it is, okay, it doesn't need to be complicated, but these words like challenge or kickstart or mini course or method or framework are always good to add at the end. And it just needs to be a simple headline or for your challenge that kind of tells people what your challenge is about. So your challenge is kind of what you give a person free to give them value so that you're solving a problem for them so that it's natural progression for them to decide to work with you a little bit later on. Okay. Step two, think about this. If a person would go through your challenge or if a person goes through your paid coaching program, what is the greatest benefit of your challenge? All right. In terms of what solution do they get out of it? All right. If it's business to business, do they get more clients in their company? If it's something where you're helping people with back pain, what do they get out of that? What is it? 8 weeks, what result can you promise them? If you're working with runners or CrossFitters, what can you promise them in 6 weeks time or 8 weeks time? So that's the benefit of your challenge. All right. That's the really important thing. Maybe if it's a runner, they get back running at the park run. And maybe that's important because that's their social group and that's where they hang out with their friends at the weekend. So this is important that you consider it's the greatest benefit of your challenge. Then step three, you need to choose how are you going to deliver your challenge. All right. Are you going to let through a closed Facebook group like this where you invite people in and go through the content like we're doing here in this group? Are you going to send them emails? Are you going to have it a video saved on a web page and maybe you're just going to have it on your website and keep it there? Okay, are you going to do it on videos on YouTube maybe that are just unlisted and you send them to people each day? It's completely up to you, but think about how you would actually deliver this challenge, okay? How you might start to deliver. And that's once you choose one medium, that's fine, just run with that, okay? Then step four, all right, it's going to be 5 bullet points. And in these 5 bullet points, you're just going to write out this little bit of copy for your challenge, all right? What are they going to get out of the challenge, all right? In terms of maybe there's some things that they're going to get, all right? What outcome or what result are they going to get? So let's say, for example, if you help a person to run faster, that might be the result. Let's say you help a person to get a new PB for their 10K time, right? But the things they might get out of that challenge is they might feel better. They might have more energy. They might feel less tired. They might feel more confident in themselves. So you want to think of what are they going to get out of the challenge and what outcome or results are they going to get. And now I want you to add in words that will motivate people. So try not to have too much negative language in there. So try in your challenge to have positive words that reinforce people. So 5 bullet points, pop them in the comments if you want. We will happily give some feedback. And then step 5, give them a reason to act. Let's say you're running this in the first 2 weeks in January and you're saying, hey guys, this is literally only happening the second week in January. You have to be in the group before then. Or let's say it's the first time you're doing this challenge. I'm only letting 50 people in because I want to give them the best value possible. So first 50 get in. All right. Maybe you're aiming higher. Maybe you want 100 people in your challenge. You're just saying first 100 people in the group. That's it. After that, I'm not taking in anybody else. But give them some kind of reason to act. Okay. A little bit of scarcity or a little bit of, hey, this is happening now. Okay, you need to be there because it mightn't happen again. I don't know when it's going to happen again. All right. But think of a reason to act. Okay. Why would they choose to maybe come and work with you or go through your challenge pretty soon? All right. And then the who, guys, this is where we talk about pain versus pressure. And what we mean by there, if a person has enough pain, okay, then they're going to be looking to get to the promise and they're going to ease some of that pressure. So what we mean by this is, let's say a person has pain, right? And when we talk about pain, it's like, what are their struggles right now? So the reason a person chooses to come to see a physio is maybe it's not that they have back pain. Maybe it's just that their wife has been nagging them because they haven't been able to lift up the turf or bring in stuff for the fire or lift the kids or play with the kids in the back garden. And the back pain isn't the issue. It's the thing that's stopping them doing. That's the real issue. All right. So maybe they're just fed up of they travel for work and they're fed up of being sore in the car. So it's not the back pain that's the issue. It's the issue that they're uncomfortable in the car. And then because they're uncomfortable in the car, they have a crappy day at work and that leads to a crappy evening at home. So the pain is like, what's the reason that they're going to take action? All right. And then the promise is like, what kind of pressure is that pain causing where they're going to be looking for a promise? So what solution are they seeking out? What are they actually looking to get from you? Okay. Or what solution are you offering to help them? So if they have a pain, and if you're saying in your clinic that you are an evidence-based practitioner, that's great. But honestly, people don't give a shit about that. They give a shit about how you can help them to get over the struggle or the problem that they're having. If you're a weight loss coach and you say you have a PhD in weight loss, people don't give a shit about that. They care that you can help them to maybe lose weight or gain muscle. That's it. So they have to start thinking about it of, look at it from the client's point of view. What value are they getting from going through your content, from working with you? Okay, that's the way you need to start thinking about this. So day 3, just a quick, okay, what we're going to be covering for day 3. That's literally it for day 2. It's been short and snappy, guys. All right, we didn't want to keep you too long this evening because we went a little bit longer yesterday. Day 3, okay, is the what. And what we're going to be covering here is we're going to cover how you can validate your offer really quickly before you go making a course or a coaching program, how you actually validate it and see the people are interested in. We're going to be talking about how you can do a survey to find out what people actually want. We're going to be talking about how you can do some research really easily with some people to find out what they're interested in. And 4 is we're going to be talking about how you can frame this challenge. And what we talk about is a mental frame. So how you frame it to show that you're solving a problem for a person. So that's what we're going to be covering on day 3. So day 2 today, okay, your tasks are pretty simple. We want to just know the name of your challenge. All right, that's pretty much it. Last thing, guys, trust the process. This is literally just day 2. Stick with us. By Friday, you will have mapped out a 4-figure challenge for your first coaching program or your course online. And even some of you might be just thinking, I'm going to run this funnel online, but I'm going to deliver this service offline in my clinic. And that's totally, completely fine to be thinking about doing as well. All right. So what we have today, guys, is I am going to just show you really quickly here. We have a worksheet as well for today. And I'm going to talk through this worksheet really quick, guys. So basically, day 2 on connection. All right, it's a couple of things we're going to cover. Step 1 is name your avatar or name your ID clients. This is where you actually choose a real name. This could be based on a person you know I've worked with previously, and because you want to be picturing in your head, who is this person I want to work with? I want to be crystal clear on who they are. And then we go and answer these questions about their age, their gender, their marital status, their location, their occupation, their job title, their annual income, their level of education, social media, what platforms they're on, what platforms they use. And then we want to know what are their goals and why are them goals important to them. Okay, next thing we're going to chat about is what are their pain points, what things do they hate or want to avoid doing. Okay, they're the things that we're going to say, hey, here's why maybe your back hurts. Here's why you're struggling to lose weight. Here's why you're struggling to lift more in the gym. So we're going to be giving them the why, okay, in our content. And then when they choose to work with us, we're going to be giving them the what or the how. All right. And step 5, where do they consume their information from? Is it books, magazines, TV shows, podcasts, blogs, whatever? Go and figure out where they consume their information and then look at those, okay, and think, why is this person interested in this type of content? Maybe I need to make my content similar to what they're already watching. And then the last thing, okay, is to write out a day in the life, so of your dream client. So start off, don't just say they get up and brush their teeth, right? So you need to say, what's their morning routine like, okay? When they're in the car driving to work, what are they thinking about? What things are they worried about? What things are they hoping for? And how can your service maybe connect with that, all right? And then go through their day. Maybe they get home from work, they have a shitty day, they feel lazy, they don't have the energy to train. Or maybe they can't train because they have an injury. How does that make them feel if they're sitting on the couch binging on Netflix for the evening? But this is the stuff that if you go through and you write out a day in the life, this is the stuff you will start to figure out. This is the patterns you start to recognize. And this is where you will think of your best content possible because you will understand who your ID client is. And I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again, guys. The person who knows or who explains the problem the best is always perceived to have the best solution. And you can't explain the problem well until you understand who that actual person is. All right, guys, so this worksheet, I'm going to post it again to the Facebook group in the unit section. If any of you have any questions on any of this stuff, by all means, just ask. Okay, myself and Callum are here to help. Tomorrow, Callum is going to be jumping on here. He's going to be covering all what we talked about for day 3. So really excited for that. And guys, look forward to speaking to you soon. That's it for this evening. Thanks for your time. Day 3, okay, we're going to be talking about the what, really important. All right, guys, that's it. Chat to you all later, okay? And